Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to another video on Lord of the Rings Home. Now, in today's video, it's not so much a warning, but it's more that I want to kind of make people aware and have people a little bit cautious of changes in the game that could honestly be days away, could be, a week or two away. But I think that, there is no real, despite what people say, there is no real meta in this game right now, but I think that there will be soon. We're going to talk about that first bit and that second bit, but this has to do with resources. This has to do with gold. This has to do with XP. This has to do with gear. Because as soon as some of these characters come out, all we know right now at this point in time is that Elrond is coming at some point for a Rivendell team, and Arwen's on the horizon as well as a marquee character. We don't really know much beyond that in terms of when they're going to come out and how they're going to come out, but we know that they're coming, and we know that more characters are going to be coming. And these characters are very likely going to impact or create that meta. And it's going to be very important that when these do come out, that you have the resources allocated that you can actually start building them. So we're going to be talking all about that in today's video. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. And I just want to start off by saying this absolutely is in no way an arena video. I already did that. I've done some other ones. There may be some more to come. That being said, this is my arena team. I'm leveling them up, but that's it. I'm not really going much beyond this right now. So yeah, I am leveling them up. I'm every time I do get an account level, I am putting one level into each of these 5 characters, and that's it. So this has been my arena team for some time. I've talked about it as well, and I'm doing quite well. As you can see, I'm at Gold 1, Rank 2. I've actually been able to get into Mithril 2. I sometimes get kicked out, sometimes I get paid out in there. Either way, I'm sort of on the borders to that in Arena Shard 1. And I just don't think at this point in time, and you may have heard of some horror stories of people who have tried to completely switch teams and the lack of resources to be able to do so. And that's why I'm trying to be here to warn you guys, to be able to save this resource, create a nest egg of resources that you can pivot to when these new characters come out or when this new meta team becomes available. And that's going to be really important. And just to let you know, I'm just really just here to hit my refresh button again. Also, on another note, it seems that after my arena video the other day, we got some news suggesting that they are going to be working on the fixes to the leadership trait. So what happens is that when you upgrade the ability to your leader ability, like when you get to the next level, that's when it turns off. So you need to reapply that each time. So they made an official confirmation about that. In the meantime, they're working to get that fixed, and I can't help but think that had something to do with the video that I posted yesterday. But who knows, right? Maybe they are watching my videos. That'd be great to hear, because we're going to be talking about things that we need more of in this video. But anyways, a lot of times you're seeing the same sort of characters in here, and I think that people should be doing what I'm doing, is just take these 5 characters, which I find very free-to-play accessible, and just level them up for now, because I think that the arena is going to have a massive shift when more characters come out, but only if you have the available resources to do that. So I'm not actually, right now, I am saving a lot of my resources. I'm saving a lot of my gold, I'm saving a lot of my XP, and I'm trying to save my gear. Now, the kind of stuff that I'm trying to save for, don't ask why I haven't summoned them yet. It's a bit of a tinfoil hat on that one when it comes to milestones, future milestones maybe. But nonetheless, I want to go to my Eothane. I clicked on the wrong character. I want to go to my Eothane because I kind of partially geared him, and now I feel like I kind of have to finish him off. So I did do the unique item, which is the left-hand side here. I did do that piece, and so I'm probably going to get him to gear tier 7, but after that, I'm going to be making sure that I hoard as much available resources as possible. Now, I don't know what gear that they're going to require. However, I do know that to gear other characters, namely elves, probably, that I'm going to need lots of light crystals, and I'm going to need catalysts. Essences. In Marvel Strike Force terms, they're referred to as catalysts, so people who may be watching who's familiar with that. Anyways, that's what I am saving on, and of course golden XP like I mentioned before, because that is not very abundant. At least gold is more abundant than XP. I've made very clear in past videos that XP is a crunch. It's actually one of the worst crunches in this game. And if you're not there yet, then that's because you either did one of two things. You either ranked up too many characters to 4 or 5 star, like, I don't know, the characters in the guild store. Maybe you just wailed out on some offers for character shards. That's one way. Or if you had just spend too much on abilities in general across the board. You went too wide. But usually you'll find, and especially when you get to the point that I'm at, that it's actually a problem with XP. And a good way to kind of showcase that is, yeah, we'll just click on more saw for that. So for leveling up, you can see how much XP I have versus how much gold I have. But you can see how around the level 45 mark, the XP threshold kind of surpasses the gold threshold. So you need more XP than you need gold. This is more evident like around level 45 and beyond. So what I have done is you may have seen my calculators. I have calculator tables and spreadsheets that I kind of go over this because I want to go over it again, and I've added to this a little bit as well, to how much resources that you might need to pivot. How are you going to pivot to a new team when they become available? Now, who is that going to be? Just honestly, off the top of my head, I don't think it's going to be a Rivendell team is one team that you're going to want to build. But more broadly, who is this going to consist of? It's for sure going to consist of Elrond if you're able to get him. It's going to consist of Elro here. It's probably going to consist of Arwen and Elladan, which are 4 characters right there. And then the 5th one, honestly, you could probably just use some of your characters that you already have, such as Ironhide Troll, Strider, as a 5th member for that team. If you're going for a full light team for some sort of light campaign, or raids, I don't know, then you might want to stick to the same, faction. But nonetheless, you'll probably need to make sure that you have enough resources for basically 3 full characters. I would say at least 3, Elrond, Arwen, Elladan, who aren't out yet, and then maybe 4 for Elro here. Like, these are the amount of characters that you're going to have to build up from scratch. And that is not going to be an easy feat. So let's take a look at that. And that's what I think is going to be coming soon over the next few weeks. It could be sooner, but we're going to start to see new characters released. I really hope so. Because we do need some more stuff in the game, but that's a topic for another video. Anyways, and of course, we're not even here to talk about raids yet. When you're going to need to pivot to a raid team. Are elves going to be that arena meta and raid meta? Or are you going to be building a completely separate team? Or will you use some of your existing characters? It's hard to say, but nonetheless, you should be, aware that you may need to build extra characters. And how are you going to do that? So let's bring this up. This is my Lord of the Rings gold calculator. You may have seen this in one of my previous videos that I talked about. What's changed since then? Well, I've added in Guild Chapter 4, because now I'm in Guild Chapter 4, so I'm able to farm that. I believe it unlocks at level 43, but I kind of forget exactly. And then I also added Treasure Trove Tier 5. So that's what I'm at, and actually this was really helpful in getting more gold coming in on a daily basis. So I used my attempts for today. I believe it was today, or maybe, yeah, it was today. And so now I'm at Tier 5, and that's 28.5k, which is a lot. Times by 3 is 57, 80, 85k, 85, 86k, somewhere around there. It's a lot of money. And so that's what I'm getting 3 times a week. And so I kind of basically did this on a daily basis. I multiplied it by 9 because you're getting 9 attempts per week, divided it by 7 days, and you're getting about 36,500 gold per day if you're on Treasure Trove Tier 5. And that's what you should probably, make sure that you're at. So this constitutes a lot, because based on some of the previous stuff and how much energy that you can get on a daily basis, I basically added in your node-based gold that you're getting, depending on, which nodes you're farming, your guild-based farming, and your treasure trove. And you can get anywhere from 97,000, from an early daily total to about 125,000 is what I call the advanced daily total. And that's going to be if you're kind of like farming the top end stuff. So you're getting a range of anywhere from 90,000, let's say, to 125,000 gold per day. That is a lot, but you're going to need this towards pivoting to new characters, and we're going to talk a bit about that as well. I want to go over again the XP farm, because if anyone from Capital Games is watching this, please know that we're in a huge problem when it comes to XP modules, because you're only getting about anywhere from 17,000 to 21,000, and it's not a lot. It's literally like 20%. I'm just going to take this number and divide it by the advanced daily total for gold. 16.7%. 16.7% compared to the amount of gold that you get per day. This is including the challenges and all the other ways that you can get XP. This does not include the arena, though. What this tells me is that you probably should be buying those XP things in the arena store, unless for some reason you're just not keeping up. But for me, I am, I have a surplus actually. So I do try to buy this where I can, because XP is a huge problem right now that they need to address, because you're not going to be able to get enough. You're getting 5 times more gold than you are XP every single day. and that's wrong. Now, I want to move to this chart that I made. It's a pretty recent chart that I just made, so you probably wouldn't have seen this yet. And it's not complete by any means. And I'm just kind of breaking down things by XP per level and skills cost per level in gold. Maybe I should put that, make that clear. In gold. So this over here is XP and gold. This is just gold. But I've kind of broken down how much you need to spend to level up your character. So 1 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45. I don't have 45 to 50 complete because I'm not at 50 yet. And if you are, you know, DM me on Discord. If you're much ahead of me on my account and you have these numbers, I would love to, you know, complete and finish my table. But nonetheless, just to get to 45, it costs 167,000 XP and 168,000 gold. Just for the leveling up, right? You know, and so I want to go back to one of my level 1 characters because I want to just I should have quite a few of them. Let's just click on Robel because she's level 2 anyways, and I could go basically one character with the amount of XP to level 46. I would not be able to do much more than this. So if I were to pivot now, I would not be able to. And I'm going to need to make sure that I have enough of this XP saved so that when more meta characters come out that we need to pivot to, I can do that. The gold is a little bit less of an issue, but then when you look at the skills cost per level, this is staggering. I have not even included the leader abilities because I don't really have the price points for all of that. But nonetheless, basic, special. Now, I know that in this game they call it special 2. I'm calling it alt. Because in ultimate attack, because that's what it is in Marvel Strike Force terms. This is how I kind of relate to it. So it's skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, and your passive. That's just take a look at it that way. But this is the gold cost, at least up to level 5, where I can see at the moment. So you have the different costs here for the different levels of the basics, the specials. You know, all of this goes up, and especially when you get to about level 4 and level 5 especially, it jumps dramatically, especially level 4 passive. Huge numbers. So right now, if you want to get, say, all of one character to level 4-ish, 4-5 kind of range for your abilities, you're looking at 455,000 gold just to get there. And a lot of my characters, like let's take my Ironhide, for example, because he's one of my most built characters. It's just like he's at 4,443. So the passive isn't even upgraded to 4 yet. I haven't done that for the 60k. But I put in a good chunk of gold to get his abilities upgraded, as you can see here. So you can add this 455k with the gold requirements for leveling, and it's about over 600,000 gold for one character to 45 with the ability upgrades. You know what? I'll tell you what that doesn't include. It doesn't include gear. Doesn't include gear. So which means you're gonna, and that can cost quite a bit. I feel bad that I didn't add that in. I'll have to make that a third table as I go along. But as you can see that even for gear tier, I know this is, a lot of people don't have a gear tier 6 characters necessarily, but this is a gear tier 5 equipment piece. It costs 16,340. My unique, which is a gear tier 7 piece, costs 44,000. The gear tier 7 also 44,750. Level, is there a 6th one here maybe somewhere? This is a 6, costs 30,000. Crazy amounts of crafting gold costs. Like for me to get from 6 to 7 is probably about 200,000 gold. I'm just a ballpark range, an estimate, right? And so to get your character to gear tier 6, the same character that we're talking about, it's going to be, I'm going to ballpark it at 800,000. 200,000 worth of crafting, probably more. It's probably like 300,000. It could be even close to 1 million gold to get one character up to level 45 with the appropriate gear and the appropriate skills. So keep that in mind if you're considering pivoting to a new meta in Lord of the Rings when they come out. Whether that's elves, whether there's some dwarf characters, or I don't know who they're going to release, but those new characters are going to be characters that are going to be very important to the game, because that's usually how this goes in Hero Collectors, that you're going to want to have those characters because they're going to be impactful in some way to the meta. The question is, on a resource front, are you going to be able to do that? If you haven't started saving already, I highly recommend putting some gold aside, putting some XP aside, and even putting some gear aside so that when these new characters come out, that you're able to build them because they're going to be very important for things to come. That's just my opinions, of course, like all of these videos. So that's the end of this one. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Please, Capital Games, please give us some more XP. I need it bad. Come on. All right. Boilon signing out.